Minecraft updates completely changed the game for the better, although others added features that most people forgot about and very few Minecraft players have absolutely hated. Today, I'm comparing the best Minecraft updates against the most controversial ones, as well as going into theories about future updates, starting with possibly the greatest update to ever touch the game. This is 1.13, also known as the aquatic update. Before 1.13, oceans were basically empty. They were huge stretches of water that players crossed as quickly as possible, and there wasn't much reason to explore them. And once you'd seen an ocean, you'd literally seen them all. Then, Mojang completely transformed them. Coral reefs filled the water with color. Shipwrecks and underwater ruins rewarded exploration, and dolphins and fish actually made the ocean feel alive. Not only that, but buried treasure also gave people a reason to actually go underwater. The update also introduced tridents, drowns, turtles, sea pickles, kelp, and one of the most iconic blocks in history, bubble columns. Suddenly, oceans aren't obstacles anymore. They were actually useful and fun. Instead of adding a brand new dimension or boss, Mojang took something that already existed and made it worth exploring. That's why so many players still consider the aquatic update to be one of the greatest updates in Minecraft. But not every update received that kind of praise. Some divided the community the moment they launched, and one update in particular sparked one of the biggest debates in Minecraft history. This is 1.9, the combat update. When 1.9 released in 2016, it completely changed how Minecraft was played. Before this update, combat was simple. Whoever could click the fastest usually won. PvP servers were filled with players landing dozens of hits in just a few seconds. Then, Mojang changed everything. Weapons now had attack cooldowns, meaning mindlessly spamming your mouse actually made you deal less damage. Shields were introduced, axes became extremely overpowered, and players suddenly had to think about timing instead of pure speed. For some players, it was a huge improvement. Fights were a little slower, more strategic, and different weapons had different uses. But for others, it completely ruined the entire game. Entire PvP communities refused to update their game. Popular servers stayed in 1.8 for years, and some still do today. Content creators built entire careers around the old combat system, and even now, nearly a decade later, people are still arguing over which version was better. Very few Minecraft updates have split the community this deeply. And the fact that the debate is still alive today shows how impactful 1.9 really was. Widely known as the worst update Minecraft has ever had. But while players were busy arguing about combat, Mojang would soon release an update that would change Minecraft forever. This is version 1.14, the village and pillage update. And before 1.14, villages were forgettable. Villagers walked around without a purpose, trading wasn't very useful, and once you'd seen a village, you'd basically seen them all. Then, Mojang completely transformed them. Every biome got its own unique village style. Villagers received jobs, schedules, and professions, and trading became one of the best ways to get enchanted books, diamond gear, and other valuable resources. The update also introduced pillagers, outposts, raids, crossbows, campfires, barrels, and dozens of new building blocks. Village and pillage didn't just make villages look better. It completely changed how survival Minecraft was played. Instead of being a place you visited once, villages became one of the most valuable places in the entire game, and many players still build their worlds around villages today. Village and Pillage was a huge success, proving that Minecraft could completely reinvent an old feature without losing what made Minecraft feel like Minecraft. But not every update was welcomed with that kind of excitement, and this next one is a good example of that. This was 1.10, the frostburn update. There's a decent chance you've literally never heard of this update, and that's because it's so forgettable. Coming off 1.9, the combat update, players were expecting another game-changing release. Instead, 1.10 felt surprisingly small. It introduced new mobs like polar bears, husks, strays, along with magma blocks, netherwort blocks, fossils, and structure blocks. And while all these new things were nice, very few of them actually changed the way people played survival Minecraft. There wasn't a new biome to explore, a new boss to defeat, or a new major mechanic. Polar bears rarely served a purpose beyond being another animal. Fossils were incredibly uncommon, and many of the update's new blocks ended up being used more for building than actual gameplay. Because of that, many players finished exploring everything the update had to offer within just a few hours. Compared to the aquatic update or village and pillage update, there was simply nothing to explore. That doesn't mean 1.10 was a terrible update. Many of its features are still part of Minecraft today, and builders especially appreciated the new decorative blocks. But when people rank Minecraft updates, the frostburn update is often remembered as one of the most forgettable. Not because it was bad, but because it didn't have enough to go with it. A few years later, Minecraft would redeem itself completely. In June of 2020, Minecraft released the biggest, most game-changing update of all time. They had changed the combat system, structures, and even entire biomes, but nothing came close to this update. Mojang decided to change an entire dimension. This is 1.16, the nether update. Before 1.16, the nether was boring. Sure, it was still dangerous, but every part of it looked almost the exact same. Endless oceans of lava, netherrack was everywhere, and the occasional nether fortress. Once you'd explored it once, there wasn't any reason to come back unless you needed blaze rods or quartz. Then, Mojang completely reinvented the entire dimension. 4 brand new biomes transformed the nether into what it is today. The Crimson Forests, the Warp Forests, the Basalt Deltas, and the Soul Sand Valley. Basalt Deltas became some of the most dangerous terrain in the entire game. Soul Sand Valleys had an eerie blue fog and skeleton-filled landscapes. The update also added piglins, hoglins, striders, bastions, ancient debris, and most importantly, netherite. For the first time ever, players had a reason to fully explore the nether instead of rushing straight to a fortress. Finding ancient debris became an endgame goal. Bastions rewarded risky exploration with valuable loot, and even crossing lava oceans became easier thanks to striders. Much like the aquatic update, Mojang didn't create something entirely new. They took an old part of the game that needed fixing and actually transformed it. Even today, many players consider the nether update to be the greatest update Minecraft has ever received. But after 2 massive successes in a row, Mojang released an update that had disappointed a lot of players. Not because it was bad, but because it wasn't finished. This is 1.17, Caves and Cliffs Part 1. After 2 of the greatest updates in Minecraft history, Mojang released one that left many players feeling rather disappointed. This was 1.17. When Mojang first announced Caves and Cliffs, the community was beyond excited. Massive cave overhauls, towering mountains, the deep dark, archaeology, bundles, and the terrifying warden. It looked like Minecraft was about to receive one of the biggest updates of all time, but as development continued, it became clear that the update had simply grown too ambitious. Mojang made the difficult decision to split it into 2 parts. While 1.17 still introduced copper, amethyst geodes, glow squids, goats, axolotls, powdered snow, and plenty of new decorative blocks, many of the features players were most excited for wasn't there. The new caves barely changed. The mountains stayed mostly the same, and the deep dark was delayed entirely. For many players, 1.17 felt more like a preview than a complete update. Of course, hindsight makes this story a little different. Update 1.18 eventually delivered the incredible world generation players had been waiting for, and 1.19 finally introduced the ancient city and warden. But on release day, 1.17 left many fans wondering if Minecraft's biggest update had fallen short. Yet despite all these updates in the entire video, from the oceans, combat systems, villages, to the entire nether, and even the overworld itself, there's one part of Minecraft that has barely changed in over a decade: the end. Will there ever be an end update? We truly do not know. Hopefully, but we have no idea. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. This is the 3rd video on my channel, and I know you're gonna love all of the future videos.